All right, let's hit the field.
All rise.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Friday, May 10th, and it was game one of a three-game weekend set between the Yankees and the Rays from Tropicana Field in Tampa.
South Florida.
Hot and sticky, like my bull.
Quick 38-second message from our sponsor, then my recap. Your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out.
Hey, pull me back, kid.
Looking to boost your sports betting game? Meet Odds Jam, the ultimate ally for data-driven wagering. With 260 plus sports books, it's your go-to platform. Here's how it works. Odds Jam's arbitrage tool spots differences in betting lines, letting you lock in risk-free profits. Plus, optimize bets with a positive EV calculator and track profits with a convenient bet tracker. Try it risk-free with a 7-day trial. Use code RECAPS for 35% off your first month. Link is in the description. Bet smart. Bet responsibly with Odds Jam. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. I have to confess, as someone who doesn't gamble, I understood very few of the words that I had to read for that ad, but they showed it to me, explained it in much simpler, smaller words, and it seems to work pretty well. So check out Odds Jam. And welcome back to first place for the New York Yankees for the moment. Nice bounce back win for the Yanks tonight. It's not uncommon for a team to lose a second game in a row after their winning streak gets snapped, like happened yesterday against the Astros, because there's usually some kind of a letdown in energy. But Clark Schmidt and Anthony Rizzo to the rescue. Let's go to the videotape. I tell you what, I can't wait till the Rays get a new ballpark as we watch these highlights in this dimly lit, ugly warehouse they call a baseball field. You know, I know there's at least one Rays fan that watches this channel, so to that guy, I apologize for what you're about to hear me say about Tropicana Field, but this is how I feel, so I have to say it. I quite simply hate it when the Yankees play here. I just hate it. I can't imagine paying good money to watch a baseball game in this industrial warehouse with a green rug. Catwalks are a joke. Camera angles are trash. Turf is like a mixture of 8 different patterns and colors, and it just looks ratty and gross and worn out. Tropicana Field is such a dump, it doesn't even feel like baseball. It feels like arena baseball. It's the only park where the fans wear gloves, not to catch foul balls, but to avoid touching the stadium. And calling it the Trop doesn't make it feel tropical. It's like when your buddy gets an old beat-up car and starts calling it a classic. Dude, it's a beater. It's a piece of junk. Best seats in the house are the ones with a clear view of the exits. Nice pickoff there by Clark Schmidt. Anyway, got that out of the way. Yankees win on a shutout, 2-0. Clark Schmidt was absolutely dealing. See John Birdie with the hit right there. He had a couple of hits tonight. Big swing from Anthony Rizzo for the extra insurance run in the 9th inning. And boy, Clay Holmes made it interesting. that was interesting. Bases loaded jam, heart attack Clay was back. But hey, quick reminder to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Maybe this is your first time watching. We do a post-game show after most Yankees games, usually about 158 out of the 162 or so of the year. And we do a voicemail show on weekday mornings, so call in 718-899-1068. Anyway, let's get to the key takeaways.
Let's go. Let's get it going.
By the way, Yankees play at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and I'm going to have to go split screen. So I got a monitor here, and I got a monitor over here. Paul Skeens making his Major League debut for the Pirates. If you haven't seen that guy pitch, make sure you carve out some time before his UCL snaps in a couple of months. He is unbelievable. He's basically Mason Miller, but as a starting pitcher. 101, 102, 103 miles an hour. Just filthy stuff. Anyway, speaking of starting pitchers, both starters were very good early tonight. Bradley for the Rays, Taj Bradley, he broke first. Allowed a walk to Judge and then hits by Stanton and Rizzo in the fourth to give the Yankees a 1-0 lead. And that was all the Yankees would need. Stanton with a nice bounce-back day. He struck out 4 times last night, but tonight he was pretty good. Hit the ball hard a couple of times, but the story tonight was absolutely Clarke Schmidt. He was dealing. He was extremely efficient, which allowed him to pitch deeper into the game than he usually does. 87 pitches through 6 2/3 innings. He typically averages, about 90 some odd pitches in 5+ innings. And tonight he was more efficient early on. He got some quick outs. He wasn't striking everybody out. He did have some strikeouts. He had 6 Ks, but he spread them out. He picked off a runner. He was just absolutely fabulous. Got a double play when he needed one. Tonight's outing dropped his ERA to 2.95 through 8 starts. 2.95. Would you have ever imagined this kind of start to Clarke Schmidt's 2024 after the start he had to 2023, where he was just getting pummeled every day? And half of us wanted to just, send him to Toledo or just get rid of him, put him out of the major leagues. But he, to his credit, turned it around. He absolutely turned it around. As a fan and as a man, I have to admit when I'm wrong. And for the last couple of years, I doubted that this guy had it in him. He had mechanical issues. Remember, he was falling off to the first base side. He fixed that. He had rhythm issues. He fixed that with a little stutter step. He cleaned all of that stuff up. He couldn't get lefties out. He fixed that. And the last piece of the puzzle was pitching deeper into the game. And tonight, he fixed that. He got the Yankees 2 outs in the 7th inning. Hell of a job. So,
very nice.
Phenomenal job. Nick Birdy was activated from the injured list tonight. He finished off the 7th inning. Luke Weaver had a dominant 8th inning. He continues to be very, very impressive. He's another guy that, in spring training, I mocked him because he couldn't break glass with his fastball. But he's throwing hard now, and the changeup is absolutely dirty. He's pitching with confidence. He's changed his mechanics a little bit. He's kind of got a similar delivery to Yamamoto, where he doesn't have much of a leg kick. It's more of like a javelin throw. And, he's just become a huge part of this bullpen. And now getting Birdy back as we head out on the road for 7 games, or maybe 6 games. They play 3 against the Rays, and then either 3 or 4 against the Twins. I can't remember how many that play the Twins, but either way, you needed a couple of fresh arms for the bullpen, and you've got them. Top 9, Anthony Rizzo with his second big swing of the night. Nobody beats the Riz.
See ya. Gone. See ya.
89-mile-an-hour cutter did not cut, or at least did not cut enough. Stayed out over the plate, and you could tell he knew he got it right away. So 3 against Minnesota. So it's a 6-game road trip, and then they're back to play the White Sox and then the Mariners. Mariners have really good pitching. That should be a tough series. And then San Diego. They go to San Diego, so I'll check in with Terrence, who's going to be out there for that one. I got a buddy who's a big San Diego Padres fan. Shout out to Brett, so I'm sure we'll be talking some smack during that series. But, hey, look, I think it's fair to say that Rizzo has had a nice bounce-back season. He's hitting .265. He's got a .337 on-base percentage, .772 OPS. He's got 7 home runs. He's got 22 ribbies. Defensively, he's had a few snafus early on, but he's been better lately. I want to see if he regresses in the second half or if he can maintain this level of production. He always seems to get off to decent starts with the Yankees, but then he tends to fade. And you see that he's had some big home runs lately. Last year, after the injury, after the concussion, he only had 1 home run, and he's already got 7 through almost a quarter of the season. Quarter of the season will be on Sunday. So he's on pace for about 28 home runs. So a slight drop off from the 32 he's maxed out at a few times. But you'll take that. From a first baseman, 28 home runs with, 260, 270, and hopefully more solid defense going forward. He's had some big hits. He's using the whole field. He looks comfortable. He's a joyous guy to watch on the bench. His teammates obviously love him. He's good friends with Aaron Judge. You see him getting along with Juan Soto and Alex Verdugo. And the man is just clutch as all get out. I love watching the guy, and I am so glad that Anthony Rizzo is returning to form. John Birdie had 2 hits tonight. He's hitting .300. He also stole his second base of the season. I think a lot of people forget how fast that guy is. He's basically Tim LeCastro, except he can actually hit. But he did get caught making kind of a base running blunder, a little bit of an aggressive move. Anthony Volpe hit a little slow roller to shortstop. Shortstop couldn't come up with it. Birdie was on second base, and he actually rounded and was going to try and score if that ball went to first, which, he was assuming. But you know what they say, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. And he got caught and ended the inning, ended the chance at a third run. Clay Holmes came in for the 9th. He hadn't pitched in 5 days, so his command was not sharp. But he got some help from the umpire, Junior Valentine. I was tempted to give Junior Valentine the belt. Oh! Called strike 3 against Paredes, clearly out of the zone for the second out. That was a big out, a big, big out. Trevino, amazing framing job, stole that strike. And that's what the Yankees love about him. That's one of the reasons they got him. And Austin Wells can do the same thing. Also, Trevino, great job behind the plate all night, threw out some runners, just looked every bit the Platinum Glove winner that we're used to. Holmes loaded the bases with 2 outs, but picked up a big strikeout to seal the shutout and end the drama. Yankees back in the win column.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
James G says Birdie is going to be a big piece, referring to John Birdie, not Nick Birdie, although I think they might both be big pieces. Robert Ryan says time to move Glaber down to another spot in the lineup. I think it might be time to move Glaber to the bench for a couple of weeks, honestly. Look, I want Birdie in the lineup the way he's swinging the bat. I want Oswaldo Cabrera in the lineup the way he's swinging the bat. If I'm the Yankees tomorrow, my starting second baseman is Oswaldo Cabrera, and my starting third baseman is Birdie. You can't take Birdie out after a multi-hit game and a stolen base. He looks good, and he's a good third baseman. And I think Oswaldo Cabrera with 20 RBIs has just flat-out outplayed Torres. I don't care what Torres' baseball card says. He looks lost right now, and we're in a tight division race. Right now, we are tied for actually, we're a half game out now. The Orioles have since won since I started this show. They are 25-12, but the Yankees lead the division with 26 wins. So, all right, let's go give out the belt. Tonight it was really between 2 guys. I thought about co-belts, but that's not really a ton of fun. Feels like kind of a cop-out. But I went ahead and went with the guy who put up the zeros, Mr. Clark Schmidt. Val and NY says, nail biter 9th, but no Tums needed. Speak for yourself there, buddy. I got the Tums ready to go. They're sitting on a shelf right over there. Frankie says at least one New York team won tonight. Oh, well. I'm guessing the Knicks lost. Is that who? Or was it the Rangers? I don't know. I wouldn't follow it. I was too tuned into the Yankee game. But, I like this one. Sinker Baller says, big, bad birdies. I like that. All right, let's take a few more comments here.
What do you hear? What do you say?
Pamela says, tonight really called for a co-belt. Do you guys want to do it? I mean, we can do it. I mean, the decision has been made, but I'm not opposed to it. What's the audience think? What do we think? Clark Schmidt dealing tonight? I think he deserves it. I think I'm going to stick with just the one. I think just from what we're seeing, a lot of Schmitty, a lot of people saying Clark Schmidt. Yeah, first belt of the year for Clark Schmidt. I'm not going to make him share it. So sorry if you're disappointed. Just remember that there's literally, and I don't say this lightly, there is literally nothing on earth that is more meaningless than the belt that we give out at the end of these games. It literally doesn't matter, doesn't factor into the universe at all. Vegas Yank says, stick to your guns. I'm sticking to my guns, baby. I'm sticking to my guns. And that's going to definitely go in the out of context reel. Sometimes I say stuff and I realize that Frankie's just sitting over there salivating to get it put into the out of context reel. JMata03 says, I would love to see the analytics as to why Boone keeps putting Volpe in the leadoff spot. Love the kid, but that 6-hole was doing wonders for his stats. He was great at the bottom half of the order, but, who are you going to put up there right now? You can't go with Torres. Torres, remember, was the original leadoff hitter, and he got moved out because Boone saw early on exactly what we've been seeing ever since, that he was lost, that he was terrible. And so... that went by the wayside quickly. Volpe got off to a decent start in the number one spot, and he's been drawing walks and things like that, but he doesn't get to use his speed because you're not going to run in front of Soto or Judge. I would rather have somebody up there who's like, just a singles hitter. Honestly, John Birdie could be great, I would try him at the leadoff spot and see what Volpe can do. You slide him back down to 6 or 7. Stanton had a couple of hits tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box score while we're talking about it. Volpe was 1 for 5, 3 strikeouts, hitting .255. He's still probably going to hit .250 this year. Remember, he hit .209 last year. So even if he hits .240, that's still raising your average 31 points, which is a lot. I think he's going to hit better than that. I think he's still probably going to hit, .270 because I think there's some more hot streaks coming. And I think he's had an extended down streak, but I think there's more hot streaks in there. Soto 0 for 4 tonight, still hitting .325 with a .992 OPS. Dirty. Got to pay that man. Got to pay him his money. And then we got Judge 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. Verdugo 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. He had a tough night. Stanton 2 for 4, 229 on the season, 742 OPS. Rizzo, 2 for 4 with a couple of ribbies. Torres, 0 for 4. Trevino, 2 for 4. Birdie, 2 for 4. And nothing but zeros from the pitchers. Schmidt, 6 2/3. Nick Birdie, a third of an inning. Weaver and Holmes with a scoreless inning each. 2 walks from Clay Holmes and 3 strikeouts. He has still got a 0 ERA. Let's take a look at his season so far. He's got 12 saves. He's got 17 1/3 innings pitched. 21 strikeouts, whip of 1.04. Sorry for all the ads that are popping up on your screen. And he's just been dirty. He has really evolved into hell of a pitcher. Opponents hitting .227 against him. I don't know how they hit that high against him. So, anyway. Jonathan H. says Volpe might benefit from moving him off that leadoff spot. I got to say that I agree. It's time. It's time. Andy William says, I heard that the Oakland closer might be available. If that's true, what would you give up for him? We should talk about this. Mason Miller is the guy we're talking about. Now, he's pretty young. He's got service time of just a little over a year or so, I think. Last year, he missed a lot of time with a UCL flexor strain, which is never a good sign. It's usually a precursor to a more serious arm injury. And that is pretty much the only reason that the A's are considering it. They're listening to offers, but the Orioles are interested. There's a few other teams that I recall hearing are interested. So anyway, Ken Rosenthal talked about it on, I think, Fair Territory and Foul Territory yesterday. I was directing Fair Territory, so I know he talked a little bit about it, and I'm not sure exactly what he said about it on Foul Territory because I missed that episode, but he said basically that he's available, but the price is going to be enormous to get him. So I don't anticipate he's going to be traded, but it could happen. Now, what would I give up for him? Really depends on what Oakland's asking for. I'm not going to give up Spencer Jones for a guy who's going to blow out his elbow in, 6 months. I'm not going to give up Dominguez. You want a couple of mid-level guys? I'll give you a couple mid-level guys. I'm not giving you Chase Hampton. I'm not giving you Clayton Beater. I'll give you an Oswald Peraza. I'll give you an Everson Pereira. I'll give you a Ben Rice. Pick 2 of those 3. That's my best offer. Sorry, we got a great bullpen. We're not hurting for that guy. I would love him, but he's going to blow out his arm. So I'm not paying the price of a topped prospect. Steven Young says Birdie for leadoff I agree.
Absolutely. Hey.
James G says, look at Mason Miller's Baseball Savant. He's the Juan Soto of pitchers. Let's do it. Let's go take a look at Baseball Savant. Good night to do it. We haven't done it in a while. I like to every once in a while take a look. And we'll look at some Yankees too, because, we're about a quarter of the way through the season. I'm going to do a quarter of the way through the season video on Sunday. We're not doing a post-game show on Sunday because it's Mother's Day, but I'll release something in the morning to go through and take a look at, what we're seeing so far. But let's take a look at Mason Miller. Wow. Yeah, pitching run value, 94th percentile for the people listening. Fastball run value, 77th percentile. Expected ERA, expected batting average, and fastball velocity all tops in the league. Whiff percentage and strikeout percentage, both tops in the league. 100th percentile. That means he's the best. There's nobody better. Hard hit percentage, 99th percentile. So maybe one guy better. Chase percentage, 98th percentile. Average exit velocity, 94th percent. I know this is repetitive if you're listening, but the entire screen is red. It's filthy. So let's go ahead and take a look at some Yankees. Let's take a look at Juan Soto, his first year with the Yankees. And his numbers are crazy. Batting run value, 100th percentile, best in the league. Fielding run value, 83rd percentile. So he's taken a huge step forward defensively. Weighted OBA. I can't remember what that is. Expected weighted OBA, whatever. I'm not great with 3-letter acronyms or 5-letter acronyms, but 99th percentile, expected batting average, 98th percentile, expected slugging, 99th percentile, average exit velocity, 100th percentile. Unbelievable. Let's go ahead and take a look at Aaron Judge, because we know he usually lights this up too, and we know he's off to such a slow start. Let's see what StatCast says. So, his expected numbers are better than his actual numbers, but, batting run value is still 79th percentile, even with the slow start where he's hitting about 234. Still, unbelievable numbers. Average exit velocity, 100th percentile. The strikeout percentile, way down, 26th percentile. It's never good. Range in center field is good. Arm in center field is great. So, Judge, off to a very nice start. Who else we want to look at? Might as well go through and look at a few guys. Let's go at Jose Trevino. He had a big night tonight. Fielding run value, 92nd percentile. He doesn't have enough offense to really qualify, but you see the whiff percentage and strikeout percentage. That aligns with what we know about him. He's difficult to strike out, but framing, nobody better, 100th percentile. And he helped that today. Pop time, not great. Sprint speed, he's slow. Let's take a look at Anthony Volpe. Batting run value, 79th percentile. So basically the same as Judge. A lot of that is front-loaded. He had a very hot start. Fielding run value, 97th percentile. Even last year, when he won the Gold Glove, he didn't look, to me, like the best shortstop in the league. This year, he does, especially since Wander Franco's going to jail. Range, outs above average, 99th percentile. Sprint speed, 86th percentile. Walk percentage as a hitter, 72nd percentile. So he has patient at bats. But a lot of those other numbers, still low. He's shown potential. You see that he has power to all fields. He's got home runs to left field. He's got home runs to right field. And fun fact, if you are on Baseball Savant and you're looking at these, you can click on these dots and it'll open up the hit and you can watch the highlight. So I'll just pause this one, scoot it a little bit. You could just go through and have fun. You can watch highlights all day. All the blue ones are doubles. You want to go watch all the doubles. All of these are home runs. So let's take a look at Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo batting run value, 89th percentile. Let's take a look at the defense. Defense is not good. Outs above average, 50. Well, it's slightly above average, 53rd percentile. Arm strength, don't need to throw the ball at first base. I'm not really too worried about that. Whiff percentage, above average. Base running, he's not good. Speaking of not good, let's take a look at Gleyber Torres. This is going to be ugly. You might want to avert your eyes. Wow. How in the hell does he have base running run value of 76th percentile? That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I believe the batting run value, 6th percentile, worse than 94% of the league. but how in the hell are they rating him as a good base runner? I just lost all respect for StatCast. In fact, we're not even going to look at any more StatCast tonight. That doesn't make any sense. Pamela says, can you pull up Jason's percentiles from last year? I don't know if it'll show it. Let me see. But yeah, Jason is... so if you look at his numbers, he didn't qualify, obviously, because he only had a week worth of time, but everything he hit was scorched. Barrel percentage, hard hit percentage, sweet spot, all near the tops of the charts. He's an anomaly, as Brian Cashman said. Sprint speed, 76th percentile. So, he's a wild man. He's a wild man. I can't wait till he gets back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Yankees win this one. Let's take a few more comments and wrap it up.
I gotta get out of here.
Lando says, Torres, Peraza, Pereira, Rice. They don't want Torres because he makes money. Derek Q says, what are we going to do with Torres? Can we ban him from going to the Knicks games and focus on hitting? I don't think we can do that, but maybe we should. Maybe we should. He needs to get it going. He's an important part of this lineup, and he has done squat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back after tomorrow's game, and just fair warning, I'm also going to be watching Paul Skeens pitch, so I might not have all the whiz-bang that you're used to because I'm going to be kind of dialed into 2 games at once. But I appreciate everybody who joined me on this Friday evening. Reminder to like and subscribe. Check out the store, NYYRecaps.shop. We got all sorts of hats, and we got trucker hats, we got regular hats, we got coasters, we got posters, we got everything you can imagine. And call into the voicemail show, 718-899-1068. And lastly but not least, subscribe on all your favorite audio podcast platforms so that you never miss this. Even if you can't pick up YouTube that day, can't sit in front of the TV, can't watch it, you can listen to it in the car, listen to it on the subway. Check it out. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See you next time.